How far back do you remember? Maybe you remember back to your first day at school, or when you went to nursery. Maybe you remember learning to ride a bike or something like that. Maybe you remember something from earlier on. But as well as the things you remember, there'll be some things that you won't be able to remember. I'm guessing you don't remember what your first words were. You don't remember speaking them. You don't remember your first birthday. And you won't remember how you were born, where you were born. You won't remember that experience. For many of you, you will have been born here at Arbroath Infirmary. But it won't be something that you can personally recall. But it did happen. Of course it did. You're here. So it's not something that you recall, but it's something that you can look back on, you can remember, because it's part of your story. So there's some things that you don't remember, or it's hard to remember because you were too young. There's other things that you won't remember because they happened before your time, and you only know about them because they've been passed on to you. So for instance, things like where your family's originally from, or what your grandparents used to do for a living, or what your great-grandparents did during the war. Some of these things we only know because these stories are passed on. Now, when people die and people are laid to rest, sadly some stories are just lost forever. But there's some stories that is worth passing on, it's worth remembering. Some stories are worth remembering. For instance, the stories of the bravery of lifeboat crew off the coast of Arbroath, seeking to rescue people from the sea. In fact, this monument helps us to remember that they gave their everything to rescue others. Peter Swankie in 1911 and 6 other men in 1953 who made the greatest of sacrifice in giving their lives in seeking to help others. At this time of year, we are encouraged to remember in particular. Of course, we've got fireworks night, and the phrase that's in my head, remember the 5th of November. But obviously beyond that, and around poppy wearing and this whole concept of remembrance, we are remembering in particular those who have given the ultimate sacrifice and giving their lives, giving their everything on behalf of their country, on behalf of their loved ones in time of war and in military service. And of course these conflicts that we think about include many civilian deaths as well. You know, in the First World War, over 700,000 British troops were killed. And between that and the Second World War, over 1 million British troops lost their lives. These are staggering numbers, and they are real people's lives, not just statistics. You know, in the Bible, Jesus says these words, "Greater love has no one than this, that he should lay down his life for his friends." Those are profound words, and Jesus spoke those words really looking ahead to how he was going to lay down his life for the sake of all people on earth. But that's something that as a Christian I think is important and good to remember and be thankful for. But his words have wider application, because we can use those words and think about the sacrifice of those who have given their lives to save and serve their country and to protect us. We can use those words and think of how greater love has no one than that he should lay down his life for his friends. And so may I just encourage you at this time of year, as we head up to Remembrance Day, to think about and to be thankful for those who have given up so much so that you could have so much. Thanks for watching.